Hello, this is Trog, and welcome back to another episode of Skyblock. I have just been doing some grinding off camera. I've done a lot of stuff off camera, but mainly I've been trying to get a bunch of wood saved up so I can make a bunch of hoppers for the farm that we're going to be making today. So if you could see it, it's just, let me show you once I get all this stuff. There is a farm that I have mapped out over on the right side. Yeah, you can see it there. It is going to be a big redstone mob farm. This is going to be a permanent one, something we're going to save for quite a while, so I'm super excited. And I've been doing some piglin bartering. I've been getting all this wood, all this iron, so we've got quartz. And yeah, I'm going to move all of our supplies over there, and we're going to get started on this project. So we're here around where the mob farm is going to be. I've got the barrel full of stuff right now. We'll probably need more later, but I just wanted to show you something. So the reason I'm making the mob farm over here is because the husk farm, or the other mob farm, is going to be right here. And I want them to alternate. So during the day, this mob farm's going to be running, and during the night, this one's going to be running. So during the night, we'll get husks, during the day, we'll get this, and we won't have to make two different AFK points. So that's why I'm doing that. And this one so far away is because it needs to block out the sunlight in this area, and I needed to give that farm enough room to work. So that's kind of my logic and planning there. I didn't do it on camera because it was a nightmare to kind of figure out and measure, So yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing it there, over here instead of over by there. Also, I'm trying to avoid the slime chunk there so that we can get slimes. I did make a small farm for that to get some slime balls. And then also, where is it? The pillager outpost is over there somewhere. It's not rendered at the moment, but I don't want I want that to be as efficient as possible, so we're putting a farm away from it. But that's my logic there. So we've got all the redstone components and stuff we need. We don't have enough hoppers, but I'm thinking this is where the chests are going to be. There are 7 different places where we can put them, so I'm just going to place the chests down here for now, although this is not where they're actually... This is where they will end up, but at the moment they're all going to be funneled into one area because I don't have enough iron for that. So this is where the chests are going to be, but there's going to be a whole bunch of redstone and stuff above it, and I need to figure out how tall it is. That way I know where to put the first layer of like where the mobs fall and die. So let's go into the creative test world really quick, the redstone world, and figure that one out. Okay, here we are in my redstone testing world. As you can see, there's like some different farms that I've made, some cobblestone generators, all that stuff, but this is what we're looking at. So this is the height of what I want to build. It is a shulker box loader with an item filter on the side. And this is what I'm going to be basing where the base of the farm starts. So we'll have hoppers going into this barrel or something, and then they'll go down and have full shulker boxes. Items come up from there. It's about 10 blocks high, I think, total. So that's what we're going to be doing there. And we'll add some like chests underneath of it with all these full shulker boxes. But this is late game. So like, let's see, we'll put the chests like here and put that down. So this is kind of what the actual design's going to be, but for the redstone testing world, I'm just leaving it here. And this is very late game, but just in case I don't want to have to move the whole farm, so we're going to use this measurement on this 10th block is where we're going to have the item pickup system. That way we don't have to remove the entire farm once we build it again. Okay, so that's going to be 10 blocks tall. So this is like 1, 2. So this is where the second row of chests would be, and then the first one there with the shulker box loader. But we're not doing that for now. So it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So on this block here is where the collection system's going to be. Okay, so the all these open blocks here are where the hoppers need to go. It's going to be a 5x5. And I want them to flow into this corner here and kind of move over to these chests. So if everything flows here, that would be fantastic. So let's do that. And they need to be the opposite. So we're going to work from this way out. So placing these hoppers facing the proper directions here. Make sure that they all flow into one that goes to the next one and so on. But I want them to kind of be, there's going to be a lot of items flowing through here, so I want them to be distributed properly. So we're going to do like a diagonal like that. And then some flowing into these. Just like that. I bet the pattern is absolutely terrible, so let's jump down and actually see how bad this is. I had to go back and get some basalt. I also started some smelting of stone for this project. It looks very interesting for now. It's very cool. But here's the thing. So remember how I was talking about a few episodes ago when you like go underneath a certain area, how that light changes from blue to black? I think I figured it out because in my redstone testing world, which is a super flat world, you don't see that change. And I think it has to do with the sea level. So I have to do a little bit more research to see if fish spawn based off of the sea level or not. And if the sea level doesn't change anything but where water spawns and this, I am going to be changing the sea level for the normal Skyblock map to be at Y level 0 or Y level 1 so that we don't get this anymore. So I think that's the solution. Otherwise, it still might be a resource pack thing. So resource pack makers, if you know about this this shifting of the colors, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be changing the sea level to hopefully fix this. But that is my current solution. And now that we're here, we can actually start working on the normal, the mob catching system. So this is where the mobs are going to be flushed down from the farm. And they're going to land here. Or actually, they're going to be landing in this like pool around here and be pushed off to this kind of central area. So from here, this center area, we need a 5x5 space where the blocks don't, or where the mobs can fall through. So we're just going to be mirroring what we have at the bottom here with this layer. And this is all going to be covered with water, so we don't have to worry about putting torches or anything like that on it. As you probably saw from the intro, this farm is pretty fast, and lots of mobs will be falling from here. So once they spawn very quickly, and they also die very quickly. Now, they don't spawn as fast as if we were down there, so there's kind of a trade-off there, but we can instant kill them by them hitting the ground. So it makes up for the fact that the spawn rates are going to be lower being this high in the world. Because the longer the mobs are in the world, the less efficient the farm is. So you got to kill them as fast as you can. And then now that we've pillared that out, we're going to come over here and make this type of pattern here where it's we leave off one block every time. A lot of water streams and stuff do this. And that just the way that the water flows. So just like that, we made this corner. Let's light it up for now. But after we add the water, it's all going to be flowing downward. After we add the water, there's not going to be any spawning spaces in this area, so we won't have to worry about the torches. But while we're building this, and we may have to go back for more resources, this is not going to be good. And I thought a lot I did think a lot more about the type of block palette that we want to use, and I'm thinking uh, I want the block palette to be kind of more like this basalt type of stuff. Like this basalt looks really good in the form of like a pipe. So if we wanted to make a bunch of pipes and stuff that lead into the center over there, so like the items from this area or shulker boxes go over to the central storage system over there. At the main base, we could use the basalt as like a pipe, or piping systems with water in the basalt to like make the items go where we want them to go. And I think that would be kind of a cool effect. So there's this futuristic looking city with a whole bunch of different interesting technologies, aka all the farms that we build, and underneath is where all the like gross looking pipes and stuff are, non-futuristic or degraded pipes. So there's kind of like that underground, without even having ground looking stuff. So I think that's what we're going to go with. And the basalt here is giving me some inspiration for making those pipes. So, because we do want everything to flow into a central storage system. That is one goal that I have for this world. I didn't mention this before, and now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have. I used an entire stack of gold ingots to get the quartz needed for this farm. So it took quite a bit of time and a lot of grinding to get to this point. So if you are following along with me or doing something similar in your Skyblock world, just know that the quartz that I got took hours of getting more gold and farming that little piglin farm that we have, the one that's not actually very efficient. Now that I'm thinking about it, and I built this, I realized that the hoppers could be pretty low, if not like all the way flush at the bottom of the world, and then have a little system where the hoppers shoot out into a water stream. Like the items shoot out into a water stream, go up, and then go into the chests. But that's kind of a bit overcomplicated for at least starting this. If we want to make another more efficient farm, we could do that. But at the moment, we are just alone in this world. So there's not really going to be any reason to make a super, super, super efficient farm. Like, I am not going to use the amount of items that pumps out of this. Most likely what's going to happen is I'm going to turn this off very soon after it gets turned back on, after I get like 2 double chests full of all the items, because I don't need any more than that. And I'd only turn it on every once in a while, which is why it's also not going to constantly run in my base. Because what I found was whenever I started... what I found in my last Skyblock world that my last Skyblock Let's Play, I found... In my last Skyblock Let's Play, I found that I wasn't using all the items whenever they were over there near my base. I was just getting annoyed because the items would fill up way too much, and I wasn't able to do anything with them because there was just too many of them, and it went into a sorting system, and it was a nightmare to try and get everything the way I wanted it to. Oh no. I just... my infinite source. Did I... Okay, that happened. So... I need to make a little infinite water pool here. Because apparently these, since they're flowing downward, they're not going to flow to the side. So now I just fill this with water, and as you can see, it stops right there. So that is how we're going to make the farm. I'm going to do that, and then I'll update you on the next area. So we're at the last 2 buckets of water, there, and now the whole thing should be flooded, except I got to get rid of these first. and then we are good to go. So this is the mob flushing area. This is where they will be pushed down into this area. They'll fall, and eventually they'll go down there, and they will fall to their death. Everyone should die from this. It's 30 block drop. The ones that don't, if we're getting a lot of them, we'll deal with that eventually. But for right now, this is the main flushing area of the farm. Now we have to make the redstone bits, which are pretty easy, and I'm going to walk you through that now. From this area here, we need to... So once we got our 7 blocks in each direction, this will be a dispenser. We have to make kind of like this diagonal square. So it is just a normal square, but it is diagonal. So like that, where we fill all this in. And I think I've done this many other times before, either in Skyblock tutorials for the simple mob farm. That uses a similar design, or for the mob farm that is the passive mob farm. So I've used this quite a few times, but nothing with redstone because we didn't make it that far in the Skyblock tutorial series. But once you fill this in, it is just putting in the redstone, so it is a dispenser facing up here, and then a observer facing so that it observes upward, and then redstone signal downward. And it will go through the air block and power the dispenser. So that's it. And now I'm going to go into time-lapse mode so we can actually get this farm finished, because we are starting to run low on time for the episode. I've talked quite a bit. So let's get this time-lapse going. Okay, I have made a temporary storage system here. As you saw, we are pretty much done. I do have one issue though. I accidentally put a dropper or a basalt instead of a dropper at the very top. So if we start swimming up here, you get the view of the whole farm. I added these rings here. I'll probably add more eventually, but I'm running out of stone. Yeah, I accidentally activated the farm. So there is quite a bit of water there, and it's not going to be good because as soon as I place this dropper where it should be, right there, all the water's going to turn off and the mobs are going to start spawning. So I'm not entirely sure how to deal with that unless I use this lever. Let's try this and see if it works. So we can hear the water flowing underneath of us. I place this down. Yep, they all stop. And then maybe if I power next to it. There we go. Okay. Destroy that so it doesn't power anything. There we go. Okay, so the water's back on. We did it. Now, place this here. Once I flip this lever, the mobs are going to start spawning. So let me get my cobblestone wall drone out here. Hello again. Thank you. Let's take a good look at how this is going to go. So, flipping the lever. So everything should start. I'm going to double check with my own eyes here. Yep, monsters are spawning. The water comes down and all of them flow out. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. And now they are going to be falling down there and dying. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we are going to need some campfires to stop those guys, the armored ones, from falling. So let's make some campfires really quick. Okay, yeah, so we did have the issue that everything was, or some of the armored ones and the chicken jockeys were falling down and not dying. So we're going to put these campfires down, and it's going to be a lot of smoke and stuff, so that might be cool. But they're going to have armor and stuff, which I completely forgot about, so we do need we do need to put those campfires in. Okay, this is why we test the farm. So next up is test number 2. Okay, here we go. Farm hit on. Let's look at it and see. Monsters spawning. Good, good. Let's see if any of the armor ones don't die. They shouldn't, and then they should hit the stuff and die here. So let's take a look. Okay. So none of them survived. Wait for the next wave or so. Okay, we've got some armored ones coming down. I'm not seeing anything surviving. Okay. I just want to see if the campfires are actually doing their job or not. It looks like they are. Oh, wow. That's insane. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay, so there was an armored one that died, and then to get the full rate, we come up to the little AFK box that I made here. This is where I will just be sitting for a while, and yeah, the mobs should come down. I'm really annoyed by the bats. That is the most annoying thing for Skyblock, because passive mob cap and whatnot. So the bats keep spawning. We'll have to deal with that at some point. But the farm is super fast. Look at that. Oh, that is insane how many mobs just fall. So good. So good. I am super happy with how this turned out. This is awesome. Okay. I'm going to come down and turn it off and see how much loot we gathered. I should be able to do that now. And hopefully nothing will spawn. Oh, yep. You just got the last few mobs coming down. Yep, and they are all falling and dying. Okay, let's check the hoppers and see how we are doing for mob drops, because that's why we did it. Ooh, I'm not liking that. That is not good. Okay, so we do need to make... Oh, that's also not good. Yeah, we do need to make some sort of like ring all the way around going up. Every block or two, we can use half slabs or full blocks. It probably doesn't really matter as long as they don't hit that. Eventually, we might do glass, but I don't have anyone that sells glass yet. Oh, okay. So this is also my question. How backed up are these hoppers? Okay. So the last few of them are pretty backed up. That's an issue. So we might need to make a system that's double hopper speed or something like that in the future, because that is a lot of drops that are just going and taking their time. So at some point we will make like a double hopper speed, or maybe even triple, depending on the rates, because these rates are insane. Oh, nice. We got a witch, but we've already got almost 64 gravel. I know there's stuff up there. Yeah, there we go. More than 64. We got arrows and string and all that stuff. Whew, that's really awesome. So this farm took quite a long time to make. When that time lapse was about an hour, and then I spent another hour messing with getting that system set up there and the redstone and all that. So it's taken me quite a while to do this, but I am super, super happy with the result. Like, look at that. All the gravel we would ever need, just that was only like what? 30 seconds that we had this farm on. We also got 2 stacks of bones, almost 2 stacks of arrows. We got lots of string, which is super good. I've been missing out on string. We've got a bunch of bats that need to go away. Oh wow, that looks really, really good and futuristic too. So I am super happy with the way this turns out. I am going to go for now. That is all that I have time for today. It took quite a while to make this thing, so I will see you in the next episode.